Hi everyone. Thank you for watching video tutorial of StructPro. Exchange models geometry between CSI software and AutoCAD is another cool function of StructPro. The geometry commands in StructPro comprises a set of commands designed to facilitate the swift import and export of models between ETABS software and AutoCAD. These commands empower you to efficiently create complex ETABS models. The commands can also work with SAFE and SAFE 2000. The command set can be accessed by clicking on the Geometry button in the StructPro menu. StructPro uses the following corresponding objects in AutoCAD for precise representation of structural elements in ETABS. The general frame element, including beams and columns, is represented by the line object in AutoCAD. Slabs or 3D shell elements are represented by the closed 3D poly object. Wall piers are expressed using the polyline object. Lastly, points and columns are symbolized by the circle object. Now, let us explain to you a bit more details about the geometry commands by going through the following examples. To start, let's open ETABS, AutoCAD, and Excel with StructPro's geometry commands and arrange them side by side. In the first example, we are going to build an ETABS model using the following 2D framing sketch in AutoCAD. As you can see on the AutoCAD screen, the sketch represents a single-story structural layout of a simple building. The layout comprises typical structural elements such as beams, slabs, walls, and columns, each of which is represented by a corresponding AutoCAD object, as discussed previously. Before importing the AutoCAD sketch into ETABS, you need to define the origin point. Click the Set Origin Point button from the Geometry command panel. Once the Set Origin Point window is open, you need to define the scale difference between the units used in ETABS and AutoCAD. For example, if ETABS uses the meter unit and AutoCAD uses the millimeter unit, the scale would be 1000. Next, click to the Get button. After that, switch to the AutoCAD window. You will notice that the mouse cursor has changed to a selection symbol in AutoCAD. Take a look at the circle located at the bottom left of the sketch. The center of this circle corresponds to the origin point of 0 coordinates in the ETABS model. Then, click the mouse cursor to select the origin circle. Once the selection complete, the coordinate will be updated in the Set Origin Point window. Finally, click Update to complete the define. The next step is to choose which story in ETABS you want to import the structural elements to by clicking the Set Elevation button. Once the window opens, select the story that you want to work with in ETABS and click Update. This completes the initial setup. Now let's start importing the structural elements from AutoCAD to ETABS. Let's start with the beam elements. To import beams from AutoCAD to ETABS, click to the Import Beam button from the Commands panel. After that, switch to the AutoCAD window. You will again notice that the mouse cursor has changed to a selection symbol in AutoCAD. Then, select all the beams from the 2D sketch in AutoCAD that you want to import and press the spacebar or right-click to complete the selection. Now you can see the beams have been shown in a ETABS model. Now let's turn on the view of section name in ETABS. As you can see, not only the beams are imported, but also the sections of the beams have been assigned accordingly. This is because we added the section name of the beam to the layer name of the beam line in AutoCAD. As you can observe in the Layer Property window, the section name is written in brackets and added at the end of the layer name. Note that this section needs to be predefined in ETABS first. If not, the imported beam will only be assigned with the default section. Next, let's move on to columns. The columns are symbolized by the circle object in AutoCAD. To import columns from AutoCAD to ETABS, click to the Import Columns button from the Commands panel. Then switch to the AutoCAD window to select all the columns from the 2D sketch in AutoCAD that you want to import. Finally, press the spacebar or right-click to complete the selection. Finally, check to see if the selected columns appear in the ETABS window. Similarly, as we included sections in the layer name of the column in AutoCAD, the sections of the columns have been assigned accordingly in ETABS as well. Let's continue with walls and slabs. Walls are presented by the polyline object, and slabs are presented by the closed 3D poly object in AutoCAD. To import walls from AutoCAD to ETABS, click to the Import Walls button from the Commands panel, then select all the walls from the 2D sketch in AutoCAD that you want to import. To import slabs from AutoCAD to ETABS, click to the Import Area button from the Commands panel, then select all the slabs from the 2D sketch in AutoCAD that you want to import. Then, press the spacebar. Finally, check to see if the selected walls and slabs appear properly in the ETABS window. This concludes the first example. In the first example, we have explained how to import a 2D structural layout from AutoCAD to ETABS. In the second example, we will demonstrate the reverse process of exporting an ETABS model back to AutoCAD. In this example, we have a simple 4-story building. Now let's export the structural layout of the third story of this building to AutoCAD. First, you need to define the scale and origin point and assign the elevation as in the first example. Because we want to export the third story, so you need to select the third story from the Define Elevation box. Now, let's change the view in ETABS to the third story plan view. To export beam from ETABS to AutoCAD, first from AutoCAD, make the layer that you want to assign to the beam in AutoCAD become active. Then simply select the beams in ETABS. Then click the Export Beam button from the Commands panel to export. As you can see, once the command complete, the beams has been exported to ETABS. The beam section is also included in the beam layer name in AutoCAD. Similar to beams, let's continue to export the other structural element. Column. Wall. Slab. This concludes the second example. Now, let's move to the final example of today's lesson. In the first and second examples, we explained how to import and export a 2D structural layout from AutoCAD to ETABS. StructPro can also import and export entire 3D structures between AutoCAD and ETABS. In this third example, we will demonstrate how to work with 3D structures. Let's begin by exporting this building from ETABS to AutoCAD. Before starting, please note that, in 3D, both beams and columns are represented by line objects in AutoCAD. Both slabs and walls are represented by closed 3D poly objects. First, similar to 2D export, you need to define the scale and origin point. However, you don't need to assign the elevation. To export frames from ETABS to AutoCAD, first from AutoCAD, make the layer that you want to assign to the frames in AutoCAD become active. Then select all frames that you want to export in ETABS. Then click the Export Frame button from the Commands panel to export. Similarly for slab. To export slabs from ETABS to AutoCAD, first from AutoCAD, make the layer that you want to assign to the slabs in AutoCAD become active. Then select all slabs that you want to export in ETABS. Then click the Export Area button from the Commands panel to export. Now, let us assume we have a 3D frame building in AutoCAD. Let's try to import back to ETABS. To import frames from AutoCAD to ETABS, click to the Import Frame button from the Commands window. Then select all frames in AutoCAD you want to import and hit spacebar to import. To import slab and walls from AutoCAD to ETABS, click to the Import Areas button from the Commands window. Then select all slabs and walls in AutoCAD you want to import and hit spacebar to import. This concludes today's tutorial. Please like, share and subscribe this channel to watch more video tutorials of our software in the future. Thank you for watching.